During the zombie apocalypse, hopefully, most people will be distracted by looting useless places such as jewelry shops or banks, while the rest of us are looting places necessary for survival. From places with supplies to build your stronghold to places you wouldn't expect to find food.
Here are 14 best places to loot during the zombie apocalypse.
But first, thanks Nate Taylor for leaving us this awesome suggestion in the comments section. Let us know about your looting strategies in the comments section and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video. Number 14. Nutritional supplement stores. It's very likely you didn't take the zombie apocalypse too seriously until zombies started roaming the streets, leaving a path of destruction and chaos in the process. You're not the only one who didn't think the day would finally come, so you never stocked up on a healthy food supply. One place that might be considered a good place to loot would be a nutritional store such as GNC or Vitamin Shop. You might not consider it to be a crucial place to go to, but you'll never fight off zombies with those puny muscles. Taking something like a protein shake after an intense battle with a group of zombies will replenish your muscles with the nutrients they need for the next round. Mix up a quick batch of No Explode before heading into battle and get to work. Since most of the weapons you might be using during this time are going to be melee weapons and all the running you're going to have to do, you need to make sure you have what your muscles need to succeed. These types of shops will most likely be found in shopping malls, which will likely be filled with other looters, so plan your raiding execution carefully. Number 13. Hospitals. Many people would possibly consider going to a hospital to either steal medical supplies or use one of the many emergency rooms to possibly try to cure one of their ill friends. Hospitals don't make a great place to hide out at, but they are certainly capable of being looted in scenarios of complete anarchy. When the outbreak initially began, people who didn't understand the symptoms correctly were rushed to hospitals to be treated. The undead began attacking the nurses and doctors, spreading the virus in the process. Hospitals could be potentially swarmed with zombies, just waiting for living human flesh to consume. If you do consider looting a hospital, just be prepared for an all-out battle and keep some equipment with you to see where you're going at all times. It might be a prime location for looting, but be expecting some zombies to be roaming around here. Number 12. Sporting goods stores. Sporting goods stores normally don't have food, but pretty much everything they got you need for survival. Be sure to pick up plenty of weapons, guns, and ammunition. Hopefully, you can find your size running shoes because there won't be any store employees to help you find the right size. Helmets, aluminum baseball bats, crossbow bolts, camping gear, maybe even grab some knee pads. Who cares? There's gonna be people rushing to these places and you're sure to encounter all these crazy people who already have the weapons that you've been looking for. They might not take too kindly to people coming in and trying to take their supply. If you do find yourself coming here, get the stuff you wanted and get out as fast as possible. Don't try to camp out inside very long, because you'll be a target for worried people who didn't prepare for the zombie apocalypse. Number 11. Walmart. It might look like the zombie apocalypse has already struck at some Walmarts, but if you gather the courage to try to loot this massive store, it could ultimately yield some valuable supplies. The advantage with Walmart compared to other places is the fact that there is so much in stock here that you really don't need to fight anyone for supplies, unless of course it's the last box of Twinkies. We have seen complete chaos at Walmarts before during Black Friday, so we do know how it can get out of control. Consider some flash bang grenades or even tear gas in order to calm down things before people get too rowdy. It's also a good idea to get what you're looking for and then get out. Be sure to bring a big bag in order to safely secure your loot. Number 10. Museums. Museums contain priceless artifacts and paintings which many people might still be willing to pay big bucks for when the apocalypse strikes. How cool would it look to have a Picasso painting hanging in your zombie apocalypse bunker? Possibly the best way to obtain valuable metallic armor such as chainmail or plate armor would be to loot a museum. You have to take into consideration that not every museum will contain this type of artifact. Plate armor could be the most effective choice in order to protect yourself, but only take the parts that fit properly or it may slow you down. If you live somewhere like in the UK or in France, there should be plenty of potential targets that could prove to be extremely valuable. Many of the weapons at the Musée d'Armée in Paris feature things such as cannons, swords, muskets, all kinds of plate armor, and tools from the medieval age. A proper raid at a museum like this will make you and your zombie hunting squad a brutal force to reckon with. Number 9. Gas stations. Many of you have probably chosen a zombie apocalypse vehicle that will require gasoline. And how are you supposed to come across gasoline during the zombie apocalypse? This is often a prime scavenging location, especially since there's normally more than one resource you can find here. If you can find a way to tap into the supply of gasoline, consider storing a few extra gallons in some red tanks for your journey. Just be expecting a possible battle with one of the gas station clerks who often carry firearms to deter thieves. They'll most likely be hostile in any case. But if the gas station owner just took a bunch of gas with them as they were escaping some zombies, it's very possible there's still some gas here anyways. So it's definitely worth checking out a few. Number 8. Hardware stores. Need a hammer and some boards to barricade your stronghold? All kinds of useful equipment for the zombie apocalypse can be found at the hardware store. Consider looting the hardware store if you are going with the home prepper strategy in order to make necessary upgrades to your fort. Many of the tools we use today can double up as very effective weapons. Things you should consider getting include nails, seeds, chainsaws, sledgehammers, shovels, propane tanks, and hatchets, of course. A hardware store could be a lifesaver to be able to loot during the zombie apocalypse if you have the chance. Nearly every item here could serve some operational use during a time when you need it the most. You can also find lots of parts here to modify your melee weapon if you haven't done so already. Some nails through a wooden baseball bat can definitely increase its effectiveness. If you haven't picked up the hobby of gardening just yet, the zombie apocalypse is probably a good start. At hardware stores, you basically have all you need to start rebuilding civilization. Number 7. Hotels. Hotels might end up being a somewhat decent option to head for numerous reasons. Most places that we see, like on the Strip in Las Vegas, are packed full of food and booze to help you get through the apocalypse. When it's the apocalypse, it doesn't matter if you open the minibar and drink as much as you want, because no one's gonna charge you for it. Hiding inside a room for a while could be a good temporary base if you're able to get in. You could maybe even use the rooms as storage to hold some of the loot and return to it at a later time. We're sure that you wouldn't mind rummaging through the Bellagio buffet to see what kind of food they have left over. People might have also leftover bags from their vacation here, which could be stocked full of essential items for hygiene or clothing at least. Many of the doors might be locked, so consider a locksmith or a battering ram. Number 6. Cruise ships. Society has finally collapsed, and people are trying to escape zombies by taking massive ships to isolated places far, far away. They've most likely packed everything they own, and this makes cruise ships lucrative looting targets during the zombie apocalypse. For this type of operation, you're going to need your own ship and a crew of men in order to take over other ships. Consider yourself the zombie apocalypse Pirates of the Caribbean. Have a reliable captain who knows how to use old-fashioned equipment such as compasses and sextants to help you navigate the 7 seas. This could essentially be a way of life as long as you and your crew are well fed and have enough looted supplies. You can do this until your boat breaks or you stop seeing other ships. Hopefully, you won't run across any zombie pirates like this guy who are looking for a fight. Number 5. Pet stores. You really might cringe at the thought of having to resort this low, but some people might realize that dog food is all that's left. It's completely canned and full of protein, which almost makes it an excellent food source during the zombie apocalypse. Whether it's dried up dog food or the wet kind or even doggie biscuits, it might be your only choice during this dramatic scenario. Since most have already looted the large grocery stores, this leaves pet stores as a backup option when you're desperate for food. And who knows, if you put a little bit of hot sauce on it, it might not be all that bad. Plus, it's not a bad idea to bring home a new puppy and you can use him as a companion during the zombie apocalypse. People will want to feed their pets in any case, and there should be plenty of value in looting a pet store. Maybe you can even train your parrot to tell you when zombies are coming. Number 4. Schools. You probably never imagined going back to school quite like this. While everyone else is busy looting fancy car shops and whatnot, consider looting a school and target some crucial locations. During a pandemic type situation, even somewhere like a school's nurse's office could have some valuable supplies to heal yourself with. Bandages, antiseptic, cotton swabs, and other first aid supplies can be found here. Another place you might want to check out at a school would be the school cafeteria to try to spot things left over, such as cooking supplies, unspoiled meats, oranges, juice boxes, etc. Also, don't forget about the vending machines and get whatever little food is left. Number 3. Gun stores. This one might be difficult, and you're going to need a crew that knows what they're doing in order to pull this off. The owners are probably locked up in the store with large supplies of powerful firearms and ammunition, which will definitely make it a challenge. But it's the apocalypse, so what do you have to lose? Many of these buildings contain alarm systems, which will attract noise and therefore attract zombies. Have a good look out who's ready to take out anything that harms your chance. Get your supplies, watch out for traps, and get the heck out. Although firearms are loud and ammunition will be limited, check to see if they have things like crossbows or even body armor. Number 2. Pharmacies. No doctors will be willing to give you prescriptions during the zombie apocalypse, so it appears as though you're going to have to loot a pharmacy in order to get the supplies you're working with. High-grade antibiotics will certainly be found here, and these will definitely be valuable to get a hold of. There most likely won't be a cure for the zombie apocalypse here, but there should be enough things to calm you down. Depending on the type of outbreak, other items such as potassium iodine should prevent you from suffering from radiation poisoning. And number 1. Other people's settlements. Looting other people's settlements is certainly counterproductive to rebuilding civilization, but this could be another option if they're not letting you into their club. Many people might have actually been taking our advice and were stocking up on supplies, and there comes a point in time when you just gotta do what you gotta do to survive. Only the strongest will prevail, and if negotiations don't work, you'll be forced to battle it out. If they prepare traps, it's to keep out no good looters like yourself. So expect the unexpected and plan carefully if you want to be a survivor during the zombie apocalypse.